Hello everybody and welcome to another episode of Alex's Afternoon Art Show. Today we are doing Felicia from Darkstalkers as part of the Marvel vs. Capcom 2 mural. And yeah, you might be able to hear some mild outdoor noise of either planes or grass cutting because it's one of those days. And yeah, the fan is back, so there's a strong chance that it's going to have to go on at some point during this. But mercifully it won't be audible because it'll be during one of those sped up times, so you won't have to hear it. But that is just an indication of the fact that I'll probably be talking less in this because it's very warm now. But yeah, I also intend to talk a little bit about what's going to happen after this is done because we're very near the end, but I'll get to that after the intro, which is now. Okay, so, like I said, I'm just gonna turn off these characters while I'm talking, because there's only, like, 2 other characters I have to turn off. But yeah, while I'm just talking about this, while I'm doing that, I will zoom myself in here. And, yeah, as I said, we will, it's just how Photoshop gets whenever I have a file size this big, but, yeah, I did at least manage to get the file size a little smaller, managed to merge some stuff and get things to be a little smaller. But yeah, so yeah, like I said, what's going to happen after this? So I have Felicia to do, and then I have 3 other characters after that, which need to be done, and then there'll be a final episode where I do up some kind of background stuff, some final touches, some kind of, yeah, background stuff, foreground, whatever, what have you. I'll do some stuff just to clean it up, so that we'll have a finished piece, and that'll be that. But I may return to the mural and expand it, do the expansion pack, as it were, and add in the characters that came later in Marvel vs. Capcom 3 and Infinite, and also add the bosses from previous games. That might be fun. I don't know. But it's not going to be a regular week after week after week thing like these have been. I'm probably going to take a break for a little while after these are done. But if I do any more mural videos, it will be irregular. It won't be. It might be, oh, I'll do a character now, and then yeah, there won't be one for a while probably. I doubt you'll get 2 in a row. That's the kind of thing I'm expecting. The kind of thing which, if I don't have any ideas, I can just do. So if I've become completely creatively bereft, I'll be back to this most likely. But yeah, it's not going to be regular. You don't expect it to happen all that often. But yeah, I suppose if you do like these videos, then you'll be getting more of them sometimes. But I'll probably put it in like a separate playlist so that this playlist has a definite length. But yeah, yeah. With all that said, that is, I suppose, just a little bit of preamble for what's going to be happening in the near future. And so yeah, as you can see, this is going to be primarily hair that we're doing today. This is going to be a bit of a longer one. I'll turn off all these other characters as well because we don't need them on right now. This is going to be most likely a very, well, I wouldn't say time consuming. I honestly think this will be pretty quick, because I've really not got a huge amount of stuff to do. It's just the hair is going to be the thing that's going to make this take a lot of time. But yeah, just because there's a lot of hair going on, and I'm going to need to give these arms and legs a little bit of kind of fuzz to them because there is that kind of look to them in the art. So I did use reference, I don't need it anymore though. But yeah, so realistically speaking, could be fast, could not. I'm anticipating somewhere around a 2.5 hour recording because that's kind of the standard, and because she's quite small on the page, like she's not very big, I kind of don't anticipate this taking very long. I did try and find some poses which maybe make leave a little bit more to the imagination than the design does. And so as you can see, yeah, it took me a while to come to this because Dear Christ. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, I did at the very least try and tone things down a little bit, but yeah, again, I feel like whenever there's a little bit left to the imagination, it's slightly more, you know, it serves its obvious purpose slightly better. But who am I? Who am I to say these things? Anyways, yeah, like the paws are very big, but that's how they are. And I was kind of like, they're actually, like here, they're kind of smaller than they normally are. They're usually quite big. They're usually bigger than her head. I mean, they're already kind of bigger than her head, but her hair is gigantic. And that's kind of just how it is, usually. But, yeah, there's also some curling going on as well, which, I mean, I'll have to do some curly hair in here, so I'll have to try and make that work somehow. But yeah. I don't think I have much more that I need to say. I think I can just start more or less. Unless there's something else I needed to mention. No, I don't believe there was. But yeah, I suppose I may interject during this at some point. Oh yeah, another thing which I meant to say about if I do return to the mural later. In the event that I do return to the mural, it will follow the normal art show format, not like these have, because these don't follow that. These follow a different format because there's so many of them that I'm trying to get through them very quickly. So it's mostly just the format of details, dots, colors, shading, what have you. But a later one might not follow that format. They might follow a format of the usual format, which is that I have a topic, which I'm also talking about, and I use that character to display said topic. So that would be more of the format that follows, more so than this. But yeah, anyways, I'm going to start because by this point we are nearly 10 minutes into the video and I haven't actually drawn anything yet. So yeah, anyways. Okay, so that is our details done. I had to take a lengthy break there because there was a guy leaf blowing outside, which he was doing for approximately an hour. So if I had come back during that period of time, the audio would have been just completely unusable. So I chose to wait, and I had my dinner in that time, so yeah. Anyways, that's the details done. I think her face looks a little odd. I think it might be these little dimple lines that I've given her here. I think maybe I could do without those, to be honest. I don't need that, I think. It looks a little better, I think. Like that. Maybe I do. I think I need something, though. I think I need something. I can move this a little bit here. Maybe just a little... a little line like that. Something which isn't so intrusive as the actual wraparound smile line. Yeah, that seems a little better to me. That seems like it's slightly more fitting. But yeah, as you could have probably seen, it took nearly an hour of this just even before I got to the hair, due to various bits of trying to work out the face. But yeah. So yeah, stuff like the tail, I decided to make it seem fluffier. Same with the legs and arms. I decided to give them a slightly more kind of fluffy look to them. Yeah, what else was I going to say? Yeah, I made the ends a little dark here. This is not really how the hair looks usually. It kind of has a slight bit of that. I was thinking to myself maybe to just, instead of it being like a full teeth smile, make it maybe like just the roof, so that you can see the pointed fangs. Kind of like, no real point in doing that. No real point. You can see there's a lot of characters already here where I've put that detail in, and I feel like it's really not necessary here. Because as I say, I've already put in a lot of characters where they already have that kind of that teeth detail, so I feel like it'll look a little silly if I'm doing that with literally every single character who has that I'm showcasing it in every instance where it's applicable. I feel like it'll be a bit daft if I'm doing that literally every single time. But yeah. What else was I going to say? Yeah, well, yeah, like I feel like, yeah, it's better to just leave it as is. I think the full teeth smile is fine. Oh yeah, I did give her the kind of slightly cat eyes, even though she doesn't really seem to have that very much. She usually seems to have kind of like solid color eyes in a lot of the art. But I decided it'd probably make more sense if she had the little cat eyes. So I gave her that. I don't know if it's normally a thing. I can't really see an example of it here because, like I say, in most instances she's just got solid color eyes. But yeah. Anyways, I will do these dots and then I'll be back to do the colors. And now the bins are around. So let's hope they're not still here whenever I'm finished, because otherwise I'm taking another break. Okay, that is our dots done, so now it's time for the colors. Meaning that there really isn't a huge amount of this because it's primarily skin. She is fairly naked, so I don't have to worry too much about a variety of colors here. Whoops. Knocking stuff over. But yeah. So, alright, yeah. That's what this one is. Skin. So, I need to turn on the background, so brace yourself, here it comes. There's our background. Now, should I steal a skin tone? Because, I mean, I shouldn't bother. If it's going to be her entire thing, then I mean, I may as well make a new one. If it's going to be her entire thing. She's got a fairly full complexion, so And since it's her primary color, it sort of needs to contrast with the blue of her hair, so... yeah, maybe make it a slight... Maybe, I think this is actually alright. It's very pinky, but I think it'll work. Alright, well, we'll see anyways. I might change it. But anyways, we'll do these colors here, and then I'll be back to do the shading. This probably won't take too long, though, because there's not very many colors. Anyways. Now, that is our colors done. But before we move on, I'm going to briefly turn off the background, so brace yourself. Because I just want to make sure that all these colors don't look weird, or that we end up with little blank spots like that. So I'm going to just quickly fill this in. I suppose there's no point in cutting away while I'm doing this, so I'll just do it here now. Because I get the feeling there's a few of these. Not really, there's a tiny bit in the hair there. A little bit here. Just a few tiny bits here and there. That's all I'm really here to fix. It doesn't really matter if there's any on the white. I mean, if there was on the white, we would have seen it already. Alright, I'm going to grab the hair and do it here. I'm going to turn off the dots for a second while I fix this. Okay, I think I'm also going to have to turn off the details while I do this, so that's horrible. I don't normally have to look at it like this. Oh, anyways, right, well that's... Now that we don't have to look at that anymore. Just throw in a few of these cleanups. Like that, and that. Okay, I think we've got most of it here. I mean, I do mention this sometimes, but there are times whenever you can get away with leaving these things. You can sometimes leave them, especially if you're going to have a light line or stuff like that, but when it comes to our shading, it will be pretty obvious if it's missing, so I don't want to do it there. It will be too obvious and it'll look bad. But yeah, that should do it. Yeah, nothing too obvious anyways left. I'm certain that if you go over it with a fine-tooth comb, there's something, but yeah, anyways. Alright, I gotta turn the background back on now, so brace yourself. There. Right, now we need to do the shading. So turn this down to 40%. And zoom out. And go over here, grab our colors. And yeah, so I didn't mention it before, but the details on this took 2 hours. So yeah, we are nearly 3 hours in already. So my initial guesstimate was not exactly right. I anticipated something like 2.5 hours, I think, for this. Which is normally our general length, but the general length is becoming closer to 3 hours now, I think, at this point. But yeah, anyways, I will do this shading. Okay, so that is our shading done, meaning now it is time for the light line. Which means we are nearly done. We are 3 hours and 15 minutes in, but we are, yeah, now we're nearly done. But yeah. Is there anything I need to mention before I do this? I don't think there is. I mean, this really isn't probably going to take very long. This is going to be a very quick light line, I would wager. Because I can't go too heavy on it on areas like the tail or any of the fur or anything like that because it's all white. So I can't really go too crazy on it. I did do this correct, didn't I? Yes, right, okay, yeah, the light line's on the right, and then the yellow shading is on the left. Ooh, a little bit of a burp there. Anyways, I will do this light line and then that will be us. Okay. Okay, that is our light line done. So, that is us done, for all intents and purposes. Yeah, so, that light line was a little bit more time consuming than I would have thought initially, and I think it's just because I forgot about hair. Really, I forgot about all the hair, which naturally, obviously needs to have a light line on it, so, yeah. But realistically, I think it came out alright with that done, so I will turn off the background so that we can see this as it will be for now. So yeah, brace yourself. There we go. There is that now against the white background, and yeah, I've given our colors like quite a lot of pop, and I think that's because I was kind of forced to with the blues, because otherwise they wouldn't stand out very much. But I suppose let's see, which is very small. Let's see how she stacks up against the other characters. We've only got one more Capcom character left. We are real close to the end, but next time, our next character is Sentinel. Our next character is Sentinel, and then yeah, we will only have a few more. I mean, we've only got 3 more characters left. Yeah, we've only got 3 more characters left. Next time is Sentinel, who's going to be a big one. That is going to be a real time sink. I'm just going to make sure that every other character's on here. Yeah, I mean, a lot of Felicia is covered there. I'll zoom back in just so that you can have a good look at her, just for a brief second. But yeah, it might take a second to catch up. But yeah, a lot of her is covered up here, so it's whether it be by Servbot or by a little bit of candy. So realistically, the heavy light line isn't too much to worry about. It's not exactly going to distract or anything. But yeah. Yeah, next time is Sentinel. Sentinel's this whole area back here, so yeah, we're going to be dealing with quite a lot of space being taken up by that one. So, yeah, that's how many characters now? There's 3 characters left, so that's 53 characters done of our total 56. And like I said at the beginning, I'll do a 57th episode just to finish up and do some background stuff. Do like just a little bit of ground and some sky and stuff like that. I think is all I'm going to really do for the background, but it'll take a bit because this is pretty big, as you've seen, and it'll take me a while to do that. So yeah. And yeah, as I said as well, I might continue this in a small way after we've done that, because I'm going to be... I've decided that I am going to come back later and just, if relevant, do a character for the mural. I think that might be fun, just to eventually fill it out with every character that's ever been in Marvel vs. Capcom. I think that would be a nice thing to have done. But obviously, we're only doing it in terms of the characters that showed up as new characters. So, for example, I'm not going to do Wolverine, Ryu, and all these other characters again, even if it's the same character but in a different way. I.e., if they look completely different, like Jill, I'm not going to do them again. I'm not going to do them again. There's no need for it. I think. I don't feel the need to do it. I think once that's it. I've done these characters. I don't need to do them again. But yeah. But I think that'll just be a nice thing to do every now and then, just to come back and do a little addition to the mural. Might be a little nice thing to do every now and then. I think, anyways, might be fun. Just to add in a few characters here and there, and then eventually it'll be very, very full. Because I mean, as it stands, this is already a 1.3 gig file. It was 1.4 before I sized everything down so that it worked better. But yeah, there's only so much I can do when it comes to sizing things down. But yeah, I think yeah, that'll be a nice thing to do anyways, just to come back, add a few characters, and we'll have topics though. Still, we'll be going back to the more traditional style of the art show that I was doing before this. But yeah, anyways, I think that's enough dawdling. I think that'll be us. So next time is Sentinel. You can look forward to that. That'll be probably a longer one, because that'll almost certainly end up getting split into multiple parts. I don't see that one being a single recording, anyways, is what I mean. That recording will be split into multiple parts. The video will just be the one video, because there's no need for that. But yeah, that will take a while. But yeah, so you can still look forward to mural videos even after we're done, but they won't be frequent. But anyways, yes, as I say, I need to wrap up. So, if you like the video, do whatever it is that you normally do, whether that be liking or not, I don't mind. I would, of course, prefer if you like the video, but so long as you don't do anything negative, I am happy with that. And if you would like to subscribe, it's the same deal. You know where the subscribe button is. You have presumably watched a YouTube video before. So if you would like to do that, I would be very happy. But of course, if you don't want to, that is fine. That's your decision. And yeah, if you decide to watch the next video, I will see you next time. So, with all that said, that is us. So I will say goodbye, and then I will leave you. But yeah. Bye-bye.